Hector Berlioz was born on December 11, 1803, in a small town in France. He grew up in a family that did not know much about music, but from a very young age, Hector loved listening to it. He was very curious about different sounds and instruments. When he was young, he learned to play the flute and guitar. He was not happy playing these instruments, though, because his real dream was to become a composer. Hector's parents wanted him to become a doctor, so he went to medical school. But in his heart, he knew that music was his true passion. He decided to follow his dream, even though it meant going against his parents' wishes. He left medical school and went to Paris to study music. It was a big decision because he didn't have a lot of money, and he didn't know many people in Paris. In Paris, Hector faced many difficulties. He was not rich, and he had to work hard to earn money for food and rent. He studied at the Paris Conservatory, a famous school for music. It was there that he learned about music theory, orchestration, and how to compose for different instruments. But he did not fit in with the other students. Many of them came from rich families, and Hector was poor. He often felt lonely and different. Despite these challenges, Hector began to write his own music. At first, he wrote small pieces, but soon he wanted to create bigger works. His first big success was a symphony called Symphonie Fantastique. This symphony told the story of a man who is in love with a woman, but she does not love him back. The man becomes sad and depressed. In the music, Hector used different instruments to express feelings like love, sadness, and fear. Symphonie Fantastique was a very new and exciting piece of music for its time. It was different from other music because it told a story and used many special sounds. People were impressed with Hector's creativity and imagination. However, not everyone liked his music. Some critics thought his music was too strange and too emotional. But Hector did not let this stop him. He continued to compose and write new music, always pushing the boundaries of what people expected. Over the years, Hector wrote many more pieces of music. He composed symphonies, operas, and choral works. One of his most famous works is Harold in Italy, a symphony based on the story of a man named Harold, who travels through Italy. The music tells the story of his adventures. Another important work by Hector is Romeo and Juliet, a dramatic symphony inspired by the famous Shakespeare play. The music is full of emotion, and it tells the story of the love between Romeo and Juliet, their struggles, and their tragic end. Hector's music was different from what people were used to hearing. He loved using new sounds and creating unusual effects. For example, he used instruments like the timpani, a type of drum, and the ophicleide, a rare brass instrument, to create a deep, dramatic sound. He was always looking for new ways to express feelings through music. Some people loved his music because it was so bold and different, while others did not understand it. But Hector was never afraid to take risks with his compositions. Despite his success, Hector did not always have an easy life. He had many financial problems. Even though he was a famous composer, he did not always make enough money to live comfortably. He also faced many difficulties in his personal life. His music was not always understood, and he often felt frustrated. But he never gave up. He continued to work hard and create music that was true to his heart. Hector Berlioz was not only a composer but also a conductor. He conducted many of his own works in concerts around Europe. He was a passionate conductor, and people who saw him conduct were amazed by his energy and enthusiasm. His style of conducting was very expressive. He would move his arms and body in dramatic ways to show the emotions of the music. People could see how much he cared about the music he was conducting. He believed that the conductor should be an important part of the performance, guiding the orchestra and helping the musicians bring the music to life. Even though Hector had many difficulties in his life, he made an important mark on the world of music. He changed the way people thought about orchestral music. His use of large orchestras, dramatic melodies, and emotional themes was very different from what had come before. He influenced many other composers, including Richard Wagner and Franz Liszt, who admired his work. As Hector got older, he continued to compose, but he also faced health problems. He became sick and his work slowed down. However, he never stopped writing music. He died on March 8, 1869, at the age of 65. Although he is no longer alive, his music continues to be performed and loved by people all over the world. Today, Hector Berlioz is considered one of the most important composers of the 19th century. His music is still heard in concert halls today. Symphonie fantastique is often performed by orchestras around the world. It is considered one of the greatest symphonies ever written. Berlioz's music is known for its power, emotion, and originality. His influence can still be seen in the music of many composers who came after him. Hector Berlioz was a true pioneer in the world of classical music. He was brave enough to follow his dreams, even when it was difficult, and his music continues to inspire and excite people today. His creativity and passion for music changed the world of classical music forever.